your imagination. When Neverland was your destination, your magical adventure isn't over yet. Just hold on tight and don't forget.
So one of my favorite memories was when we used to go to Browns Lake, and me and my mom would go at the edge of the lake there, and she would tell me to stand still, and then the goldfishes would come and suck on our toes, and then I would start screaming.
Well, I think one of my fondest memories is back when we were in California. You know, we didn't have much money back then, and Dad would try to do whatever he could to have us have fun. And one of the days when we were going to go to school, and he decided to have some fun in the morning, we were at a parking lot eating Burger King, which is special for us, but there were seagulls all over the parking lot. And so what he would do is he'd drive around and chase the seagulls, and we went for hours and hours and hours. We were cracking up. Johnny and I were rolling in the back seat. So much fun.
Did you ever feed them aspirin?
No.
It's not good. My other favorite memory was in the summer. My papi would take me outside, tell me to stand in the middle of the yard, and then he would sneak up on me and blast the hose, which was really cold. And then the cars would go by, and then they would start beeping at us. And then once we were done with that, we would sit on the little patio, and me and him would have this game where I would pick a certain color, which was red. He always picked white, and then whatever car went by, that's who won. It was how many cars. We'd go up to 10. He would normally win.
Yeah, and I've got another memory too, which is what my dad and I called quarter races. And so when it rained a lot where we lived, there was a lot of water running in the side gutters on the side of the road. We'd take quarters and we'd sit them next to each other, and the water would carry it down the street, and we would see who would win.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd just spend hours and hours in the rain.
You do that with our kids?
Oh, yeah.
Neverland was your destination. Your magical adventure isn't over yet. Just hold on tight and don't forget. Every wish, every dream you ever had, close your eyes, and it will all come rushing back. Fly away. All you need is to believe and remember You never know where your dreams might take you, so keep them safe and sound. Don't let it react.
So I remember growing up that our church would give us newspapers, and we would stuff it in the bags as a family, and we would put it in the basket of my dad's three-wheeler bike, and we would go all around the neighborhood, and we would pass them out. And then I remember Mama and Papa always going to the door, and there would be these little old ladies and women that would come out, and they would minister to them, and they would feel so blessed. And just hearing the anointing that was upon Mama and Papa on their life, I longed for that being small. So then when I got a little bit older, Mom and Pop would always go to Bishop's Church or to other churches around, and they would preach. And Mama and Papa got me involved too. I was in the back, even if it was something small, I was in the back praying for them and just feeling the anointing, feeling God's presence coming down. It was so amazing that, when I got older, I started, I remember for youth group, for their National Day of Prayer, they asked me to pray in front of all these people, and it was really cool because it felt comfortable for me because they instilled that in me when I was small.
And growing up, I remember always hearing about how Grandma and Grandpa, before they went over to Thailand to be missionaries, they would work with some of the Hmong people over there and bring them over to America and kind of help them transition, do Bible studies with them and teach them about Christ and all that. And, it really didn't hit me what they were doing until one time when I went over there. I was probably about 10 or 11 with my parents, and we would take Bibles and hide them in like Pringles cans, and roll them up, and go across the border and stuff. And it's amazing just thinking about it now, how your parents were so involved in the ministry, and my grandparents were missionaries, and now that my dad's even working into that, it's just amazing to see what is in the future for us that God has for us. I've always had this vision of doing some kind of missionary work. I've always told you that Thailand feels like a second home to me, and where that would go, I don't know, but I know that you've shared of your visions of helping the kids and
my
doing
dreams,
some kind of ministries.
I remember having the dreams when I was small of these little kids being around me, and then me helping them, like rescuing them. Like I was keeping them from danger, but I felt like they were my kids. Like I felt like they were my babies, even though they weren't. And I always had dreams of us building an orphanage. And like you said, I don't know where God's taking us, but I'm excited.